Hello everyone, welcome to this review of Jack Grayle's Hail Hekate course offered through the Blackthorne School. I'll leave links down below so that you can find all of that. It's always a little bit daunting for me starting reviews of things that I consider to be of extraordinary value and quality, and this is one of them. I'm not quite sure how to start or what words I can use to convey how wonderful this experience was for me. So let me start off maybe by telling you about my journey through it, okay? And then I'll talk a little bit about the contents and finally my thoughts at the very end. A few months ago, I'm going to say about 6 months ago, Rose Thorne, the founder of the Blackthorne School, reached out to me through Facebook and asked me, would you be interested in taking any of our courses and reviewing it? And having heard about Jack Grayle's Hail Hekate course, there's been a lot of chat on the Foolish Fish Discord server, people saying that it's been a turning point in their praxis, that it's changed their lives, that it has been a foundation for the rest of their magical lives and things like this, like really like superlative ways of talking about this course. I thought to myself, do I even dare ask? Like, probably she's asking me to review some of the other courses. Surely everyone knows about Jack Grayle's Hail Hekate course. But when I did in fact dare to ask, she said, yes, fine, I'll ask Jack. And Jack, bless him, reached out to me personally saying, yes, I'd be delighted for you to join the course. So wow, that was really mind-blowing for me. And the first thing that happened was that I was invited to the Facebook group. So every cohort, so the enrollments happen every so many months, and whoever's in that particular cohort are invited to a Facebook group together so that they can discuss amongst themselves the contents every week as the contents are released. So the way this works is that on the Blackthorne School website, there are all the lessons and they get unlocked week after week. And when a course becomes unlocked, you can go into it and you'll see all the videos that Jack Grayle has recorded for this particular session. There's an average of about 2 hours worth of video content every week. So sometimes it's a little bit less, sometimes it's a lot more. And but generally most weeks it's about two hours worth of video content, and there will also be documents. Sometimes it'll be classical texts that Jack Grayle is discussing. Sometimes it'll be actual rituals that you can use yourself. All of these documents are reproduced in the Facebook group to make sure that everyone really does have access to them in case they missed them. And this is the first thing that I noticed. In the Facebook group, Jack Grayle was constantly answering people's questions. Within 24 hours, there was an answer, invariably. He was just commenting on people's, anything that they said. Jack Grayle was there saying, I see you, what you're saying is valid, or what you're saying is part of the truth. Here's what I can add so that you can get a fuller picture. Things like this. Extremely active on the Facebook group. So that was something that really impressed me. That was the first thing. The second thing that really impressed me was the videos themselves. Jack is a trained actor and it really comes across. His speech delivery is just buttery smooth and there's no hesitation at any point. There's no editing in his material either. It's all just coming from his mind, from his heart. He just knows this stuff. And this is what's quite impressive, is that everything that he's talking about is referenced and grounded in historical primary sources. And this really blows my mind, because when you're speaking from just your personal experience, that's one matter. But when you're speaking about something that you've learned about, then it really needs to have become a part of you in order for you to be able to just talk about it from the heart, right? And it becomes very apparent that this is Jack's inner world. He lives this very truly. And I fully realize that this might feel a little intimidating for some people listening, but he manages to make it accessible, not only accessible, but inclusive. It doesn't matter what tradition or baggage you're coming to this with, he includes you. He acknowledges that whatever he is talking about may not be palatable to every single person listening. Obviously, a neo-pagan is going to have very different sensibilities to what is okay to say to divinity than, for example, a Gnostic Christian is, right? So, and all of these perspectives are acknowledged. Ultimately, Jack is talking about an ancient praxis and technology. And so the people who created these ways of talking to Hekate and the many other deities that come into play throughout the course had a very different way of thinking than we do today. And Jack makes that not only evident, but okay. That's really very, very impressive to me. Very, very impressive. So the course obviously is mainly centered around Hekate, but it's not just Hekate that this course approaches, it's the whole context of Hekate. And in doing so, Jack gives us an overview of Western magic, of Western esotericism and occultism. And you show me any given group of books up to the cost of this course that will give you a complete overview of Western magic. I certainly can't think what that could possibly be. Not so concisely, not so easily accessible, and not so inclusively accessible. And it would certainly take you a lot longer than 13 weeks to piece all the little bits of the jigsaw puzzle together. And this includes everything from, well, first of all, a thaumaturgic approach, a sorceress approach, right? Where he's in fact even introducing us to the PGM, the Greek magical papyri, and the technologies that underpin the workings inside the PGM. He happens to also be a PGM specialist. I mean, how perfect is that? And he doesn't just touch upon this, he actually opens up the hood and shows you exactly what's going on in these PGM rites. It's amazing. And then he goes into the theurgic approach, giving us an introduction to Platonism and Neoplatonism and Sethian Gnosticism. And the man knows his stuff about Sethian Gnosticism. I have never heard anyone talk about Sethian Gnosticism with so much knowledge and respect for the original materials. Yeah, when I say that there's a lot of material here, I really mean it. In fact, I might even say that it's a sign of what an accomplished magician Jack Grayle is, that just the breadth and the depth of the information included in only 13 weeks. I'm truly amazed. And through all of this, Hekate is central. She is always the figure that we come back to under many names. Actually, at the beginning, we're introduced to her Greek form with her associations with Persephone, and then later on we get to see her as she was thought of by the early Christians, and so on and so forth, and we get to examine her celestial aspect and her infernal aspect. It's complete. It's absolutely complete. And in the process, of course, we get to learn about what that means: celestial, infernal, thaumaturgic, theurgic, and so on and so forth. It's, yeah. Mind-blowing is definitely the right word here. All right, I need to calm down. Do I recommend the course? 100%. I think that if you are ever going to take a course in your life at this price point, this is the one. This is without a doubt. It is uncommon in its quality, in the quantity of accessibly delivered material, and in its relevance for understanding the modern occult world. I can't recommend this course more wholeheartedly. Jack, you've created something truly beautiful here, and I'm incredibly grateful for having been allowed to join along, to tag along over the past 13 weeks. It's been a beautiful, beautiful thing for me. I was talking on the Foolish Fish Discord server just a couple of days ago with a very well-loved member, Foolish Fish member, who was talking about PGM Praxis 50 Rights for 50 Nights course, which has just started on Blackthorne, and I believe that enrollments are still open at the time of recording, I believe. And I was actually saying to him, you know, the Hail Hekate course, apart from friends and family, has been the best thing in my life for the past 5 months. And I truly mean that. What you've created is nothing short of superb. So thank you very, very much indeed. There is one more thing that I want to talk about, and that's the target audience. And I'm going to say that the target audience is anyone. And I actually mean that. The figure of Hekate can be quite daunting or even intimidating for someone just looking in from the outside and seeing just bits and pieces online which aren't necessarily an accurate description of the goddess, or maybe just a particular aspect. This goddess is varied and complex and contradictory, and there are so many aspects to her that there really will be an aspect of her for everyone out there, although Jack makes all of her aspects palatable. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is that whether you are interested in establishing a relationship with Hekate, or if you are only interested in studying the Hekate phenomenon, you will not be left behind. You can take as much out of this course as you wish to take and still not be left behind. Every week is its own thing. Every week builds on the previous week, but if you don't really click with one particular lesson, if there's one particular aspect of the Hekate phenomenon that you just don't really like, and it doesn't fit maybe with your previous baggage or your current praxis, then that's actually not a problem. You are welcome to practice as much or as little of the quite a lot of methods that Jack offers through the course. So yes, if you're worried that actually a relationship with Hekate is something that you're not after, but there is just so much more to this course than an introduction to Hekate, that's really not something that you need to worry about. Although if you are interested in a relationship with Hekate, there is everything here that you could possibly need to establish that bond and to establish this initiation, in fact, to Hekate. There we are. Those are my thoughts on this extraordinary course. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you haven't done so already. All the links that you might need are down in the description. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you very soon with another video. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.